Today, I want to share a story that I have with a fish. This fish is actually one of my favorites, but also at the same time, the most challenging ones too. What's up my aquatic friends? Raja here, and this is Taj Mahal Aquatics, your source of fun fish content and everything about the world of fish keeping. Today I want to do something a little different that I have never done in this channel, which is some storytelling. More specifically, I want to share a story about my experience of keeping a fish, and hopefully you enjoy this kind of video. I've been keeping a lot of different kinds of fish, but this particular fish is the one that really gives me a rather interesting keeping experience. This fish is actually one of my favorite fish, and I even feature it in one of my videos about my personal favorite fish. But at the same time, it also gives me some migraines when keeping them. And I will share my experience when keeping this fish, as well as some advice if you want to keep the fish too. And this is my first time actually doing this storytelling type video. So if you like it, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you like to see more of this fish keeping story video, as I have a few more stories to share, or other kinds of fish keeping video, then make sure to subscribe, as I bet that you don't want to miss another video from this channel, cause more cool stuff is on the way. And now let's dive into the video, so we don't get stuck on the intro for too long. So let's dive in, shall we? Before we get deeper into the story, why don't we take a look at what fish that I'm going to talk about in this video? If you are really into fish, you should have known what fish that I'm gonna talk about in the thumbnail. But if not, let me introduce you to the fish that I'm going to highlight in this video. This fish is one of my favorite, but the keeping experience of this fish is a rather interesting one, and also can be a little bit of a headache sometimes. And if you have been to Indonesia, or a literal Indonesian like me, you may find this fish more easily on the dinner plate than in someone's aquarium, as these fish are eaten more than being kept as a pet here in Indonesia. So what fish is it? This fish is a species of gourami, but not your normal gourami, as it's big, which is not something that every one of you sees in someone's aquarium. This fish is a giant gourami, and this fish gives me a rather interesting keeping experience, which I'm gonna tell you later in the video. And I bet you don't want to miss it, as my experience with this fish is a bit of a wild one. But before I went deeper with the story, you may wonder how I managed to get this fish. Now, before I tell you the whole experience of keeping this fish, you may wonder how I ended up with this fish. Did I buy it intentionally at the store? No. Was I even planning to have this fish? Also no. So how do I get this fish, and why do I end up getting this fish? So it all started from a phone call from my father, and in that phone call, he said, "Son, I'm about to shut my pond down as it leaks so much. Would you mind if I send all of my fish to your place?" So basically, he had a pond at his house which is an underspec fish pond, which I think is more suitable to be more of a fountain than a fish pond. But look, my pond back then is also an underspec pond. Despite my fish pond was bigger than his, my pond was also not great at that time, but at least it can hold more fish. And yeah, my father didn't live on the same roof as me, as my parents have been divorced for a long time. And at that time, I lived with my mother. And of course, I'm not gonna tell you why they got divorced, because I don't want to bring my childhood trauma here. So let's just focus on the fish keeping stuff here. So long story short, all of his fish arrived at my home. And there's quite a lot of fish that came from his pond, many of which were koi. But there's 3 of these giant gourami, which I ended up putting in my large aquarium, which used to be my grandfather's aquarium. So that's how I got this fish. I never wanted to buy this fish, and I wasn't even planning to keep this fish yet. And when I saw this fish, I was thrilled, as this is the fish that I don't really see a lot in someone's aquarium. And I normally see them fried like this or cooked with sweet and sour sauce in restaurants, which tasted really good by the way. But the keeping experience of this fish is an interesting one. When I first got this fish, I was so thrilled because again, I don't see them often in someone's aquarium, and I normally see them fried or served with sweet and sour sauce on a dinner plate, which tasted pretty good actually. The last time I saw this fish up close before the internet era was at my grandpa's house. And as far as I remember, his gourami was bigger than mine back then. That thing has to be like 4.5 pounds I think, as the last time I saw that fish, it was bigger than what I used to have. But once I get these fish, I put them in the largest aquarium that I have, which also used to be my grandfather's aquarium, but my grandfather from my father's side. And this is the gouramis in that aquarium. There's 3 of them, and I have some tilapia and a pleco too, which are the fish that I refuse to keep again. And I do have a story with tilapia too, so if you are curious with my story of keeping tilapia, let me know in the comment section, cause I really like to share my experience with that fish too. It may look cramped in this clip, but that is the largest aquarium I have back then. I could put them in the fish pond, but there are quite a lot of koi in it, and koi with gourami is not a good idea in my opinion. Though you may see some with koi in this video, those are not my fish, and I would not mix my koi with gourami. As I said before, not a great idea. And so far, my experience of keeping this fish is actually pretty good. I actually really enjoy keeping this fish, despite the fact that I also have some moments with this fish that gives me some headache, which I'm gonna show you later. But before we go there, I wanna show you some good times I had with this fish. This fish makes a unique aquarium fish for me personally, as like I said before, not a typical fish that I normally see in someone's aquarium. And here in Indonesia, you find this fish more as a dinner than someone's pet fish. Some people warn me that they can be aggressive, but so far, I never faced any aggression with this fish, and I guess it's the fact that I have 2 females in the aquarium. So basically, my fish has 2 wives but no kids, and they pretty much chill the whole time. And another thing that I really like about them is that they are not fussy about food. I normally feed them the same pellet that I feed to my koi, but when I'm running out of pellet, I could feed them some greens. Since they are more on the vegetarian side, they can be fed with some vegetables. But did you know what I feed them when I'm out of pellet? Papaya leaves. It may seem odd, but it works. They really enjoy those papaya leaves, and since there are quite a lot of papaya leaves around my house back then, I don't need to spend some money for it. I also saw some farmers here in Indonesia feeding these fish some taro leaves, and somehow they also enjoy it. But what do you think? Do papaya leaves or taro leaves make a great dinner meal for these fish? Let me know in the comment section. And so far, I actually enjoy keeping this fish. They make a unique pet. They are also quite chill. Although it's because the fact my fish has 2 wives but no kids. They are not even fussy about food, and actually, they are quite easy to maintain for me. However, as much as I enjoy having this fish, there are some moments where these fish gives me some migraines. As much as I enjoy keeping this fish, unfortunately, this fish also gives me migraines at the same time. They may be the fish that I really like and also my personal favorite fish, but this fish can sometimes give me a headache, and here's why. First of all, this fish is a swimming pile of mess like the goldfish. Although they are actually quite easy to maintain, I found that they cost more labor time, especially for aquarium maintenance. Especially knowing that my aquarium filter at the time was not powerful enough for this fish, I have to do 80 to almost 100% water change with this fish. The chores are not hard, it's just that it costs more labor time. But the moment that really gives me migraines with this fish is when I have to transfer them. There are some moments where I have to transfer them, like if you saw some of my old videos, I sometimes transfer them during the maintenance. The most challenging thing with this fish is the fact that they are so powerful. This fish can be so powerful, and somehow, this fish also managed to break my net. My biggest gourami at the time was a male one with 3.3 pounds, and you can guess how challenging that fish is to move. And so far, these are the moments where this fish can give me some headache. I actually don't really mind the labor of the maintenance chores, but sometimes they can be a bit of a pain to transfer. I even saw someone holding this fish upside down for easier transfer, but I guess I wouldn't try it, and I guess you shouldn't try it also. And that was the moment where this fish can give me some headache sometimes. So overall, was it a pleasing experience for me? Yes, it was. Is this fish still one of my favorites? Definitely. Especially knowing that here in Indonesia, people eat them more than treating them like a pet, and they do make a unique pet in my opinion. Will I try to keep them once again? I would like to, but on a different condition. If I want to keep them again, I would probably build them a fish pond with a really proper filter. Even though keeping them in an aquarium is fine like I did before, I think they are better for ponds than aquariums. I would probably build them an 8x4 or 10x4 feet pond just to house them, and I think they would be happy there, especially if their pond has a better filter than what I used to have in my aquarium. But what do you think? Is keeping this gourami in an 8x4 or 10x4 feet pond a great idea? Let me know in the comment section. And for my advice for keeping this fish, although they can go in a large aquarium, I would suggest you build a pond, especially if you live in a warmer area. I found that they are better for ponds, as they will give you less headache, and they can live better and happier. An aquarium is fine, as long as it's big, but I guess ponds are better for them, especially if you live in a warmer climate area, and make sure you have a powerful filter for them. They are also a swimming pile of mess like the goldfish, and if you need to transfer them, maybe use a bucket for safer transfer, and don't flip them like a shark. That's a bad idea. So that's it, folks. That's a bit of a story with one of my favorite fish, which is the giant gourami. There are some good memories I have with this fish that makes me really like them, despite there are also some moments that can give me a headache. And overall, keeping them as a pet is a really unique experience, as here in Indonesia, this fish is more of a food than a pet. And while you may see them cute, many Indonesians see them as food. But for me, keeping them is actually fun, although it can be a hassle sometimes. So that's a wrap for this video. And do you have an experience to share with giant gourami? Let me know in the comment section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and share this video to your friends that really like giant gourami. And if you want to see more cool fish content from this channel, make sure to subscribe, cause there will be more to come. Thanks for watching, my aquatic friends, and have a wonderful aquatic life. See you next time.